Yes, cutting off a vulnerable adult's electricity in Florida under those circumstances can absolutely constitute exploitation of a vulnerable adult under Florida law. Let's unpack this carefully from a Florida probate, guardianship, and criminal law perspective. 1. Key statute Florida Statute 825.103, exploitation of an elderly person or disabled adult under FLAS Stat. To 825.103(1), exploitation occurs when a person, open quote, knowingly, by deception or intimidation, obtains or uses or endeavors to obtain or use a vulnerable adult's funds, assets, or property with the intent to temporarily or permanently deprive that person of the use, benefit, or possession of the funds, assets, or property. Close quote. The term vulnerable adult, FS by 45152-1028, includes anyone. Open quote, 18 years or older whose ability to perform the normal activities of daily living or to provide for his or her own care or protection is impaired due to a mental, emotional, sensory, long-term physical, or developmental disability or dysfunction, or brain damage, or the infirmities of aging. Close quote. Let's start 2. Why cutting electricity fits the legal definition. If the de facto trustee or family member, then this act can be interpreted as has control or influence over the vulnerable adult's home or trust property, cuts off electricity intentionally as a means of pressure or coercion, e.g., to force signing of a power of attorney or to gain compliance. Legal element. How it's satisfied. Use or deprivation of property, electricity, a paid utility service, is part of the vulnerable adult's property rights. Interfering with access deprives them of basic living needs. Intent to deprive or coerce. If done to force the adult to sign documents or relinquish rights, it shows intent to control or intimidate. Resulting harm or risk. Loss of electricity can create immediate safety risks, especially for disabled adults needing refrigeration, medical devices, or AC. This fits both criminal exploitation and potential civil abuse of fiduciary duty if the person holds a position of trust, e.g., trustee, successor, or de facto manager of estate assets. 3. Civil and criminal liability. Type, Florida authority, potential outcome. Criminal exploitation. FS Par 825.032, felony of the first, second, or third degree depending on the value involved. Fiduciary misconduct. FS 736.0801 at SEEK, Florida Trust Code, grounds for removal of trustee and surcharge, damages. Elder vulnerable adult abuse, FS Pedic 455.1111, civil cause of action for damages. Interference with utilities, harassment, FS Bec 812.14, Peg 784.048, may qualify as tampering or harassment. Now 4. Practical next steps. If you or someone you represent are the vulnerable adult, 1. Document everything, dates, times, communications, and the names of anyone involved. 2. Preserve all evidence, utility bills, text messages, trustee correspondence. 3. Contact Adult Protective Services, APS, Florida Abuse Hotline, 1-800-96-ABUSE. 4. File a petition for injunction from against exploitation of a vulnerable adult under FS 825.1035. 5. File a motion to remove trustee, FS 736.0706, or seek emergency protective relief under the Florida Probate Rules, Rule 5.025. 5. In summary, open quote, yes, cutting off a vulnerable adult's electricity as a form of control or coercion is legally classified as exploitation under Florida law. It can expose the responsible party to felony prosecution, fiduciary removal, and civil liability for elder vulnerable adult abuse and breach of fiduciary duty. Close quote. If you want, I can help you draft a formal declaration or affidavit citing FS Parte 825.103 and Parte 415.102 for submission in the 15th Judicial Circuit, Palm Beach, formatted for inclusion in an injunction or emergency petition. Would you like me to generate that next?